Hey people, it is Thursday, June 10th. The time is 12:50 a.m. and the temperature is around 23 degrees Celsius. I'm here in Midtown Toronto, and this would be my neighborhood, which is around Yonge and Eglinton. And I thought I would just come out and do one of these post-midnight walks. So this is Montgomery Avenue I'm on, or at least I was on. And this is Yonge Street. And there's a look to the south. And a look to the north. And one of those buses was a Line 1 subway shuttle bus, and the other one was the regular 97 bus that runs up and down Yonge Street. And the plan for this one is to just head south down Yonge, just past the intersection of Yonge and Eglinton, and then I'll walk over to Holly Street, and then I'll walk back up to Eglinton, and then I think over to Redpath Avenue. I'll just kind of wander around the area for a bit. And there is Grazie, a local favorite Italian restaurant. And they soon will have their patio set up. And one of the reasons I wanted to come out tonight and record this is there's only one more night after this left of everything being closed. In a couple of days, outdoor dining is once again allowed. And retail stores will be able to operate with limited capacity, so I want to get one last look at my neighborhood. Hopefully, this is the last time we'll ever get to see it like this. This is a Wednesday night / Thursday morning, however you wish to call it. And I'm guessing there'll be a rather large patio for the Rosencrown. And probably some of that will be for Pie Restaurant, which is a northern Thai restaurant that's moved into the space above it. I think Absolute Comedy will have to wait a bit longer before they can open. Here's a Dollarama that's new to the neighborhood. This is Roehampton. And that's a look across at the Yonge Eglinton Center. Here goes a couple of shuttle buses. And I think from June 7th till June 10th, after 11 p.m. or so, there is no subway service north on Line 1. And I think that's between Eglinton Station, which is just to the south of here, north up to Finch. They are doing some tunnel work. Speaking of which, this is all part of the construction going in for the Crosstown LRT. At least I think this part is. And there's another look at the Yonge Eglinton Center. So this is Eglinton Avenue East. And a look up at the e-condos. So you used to be able to access the subway station from any corner at this intersection, but the link to the northeast corner here has been severed. I suppose I could head south down to Davisville. I'll keep this one limited to Yonge and Eglinton. Once everything's all open again, I'll do a night walk through here just to sort of compare it to what it's like now. I'll probably cover the stretch between Eglinton and Davisville. I wonder where the keg will have their outdoor eating, or if they can. I don't think it would be allowed here on the street due to all the construction up at the intersection. And these are the Minto Midtown Towers. They were originally to be taller than this. I think they're officially called Quantum now. They were the first of the really tall towers to go up in this area. And since then, a few that are much taller have gone up. And there'll be even more, including I think all throughout this area here, there's 5 really tall towers planned. And just up here on the left, there used to be an office tower that housed a branch of TD Insurance. That was where Melosh Monix used to be. Right here, but that's come down. And there's where the art shop used to be. And now there's a West Elm, and a Staples, and a Farm Boy, and of course, condos. And this here is Soudan Avenue. I'm just gonna head east for a block, over to Holly, then we'll head north, up to Eglinton. I just sort of thought of this walk right before I started filming it. If you count today as Wednesday, I've made a few videos today. I did a walk through the South Core, then I made something that you could call a cycling live stream, although it was really more of a calamity. And then I just recently edited a live stream on my edited a video that'll be uploaded for tomorrow morning on a live stream on my other channel, Johnny Stumbles. So if you want to see how I edit videos, at least these walking videos, you can head over to that channel. And this is quite dark. Never realized this was an office tower, 40 Soudan Avenue. But here is Holly Street. This should be a bit better lit than Soudan, and that'll take us up to Eglinton. Then I think I'll walk over to Redpath. There's a new condo going up. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom suites available. Looks like they have the sprinklers on. There's a lot more high-rises and rental buildings in particular in Yonge and Eglinton, as well as Yonge and Davisville for that matter, on the east side of Yonge. Not really sure why that is. Here's another office tower. That's 40 Holly Street. And it looks like, unless I want my camera to get wet, I'm gonna have to venture out to the street here. And what is this development proposal here? They want to put buildings of 27 and 34 stories. On this lot. According to that sign, it says if you move here, you may not have access to a local public school. I think they had to put that in there to satisfy the homeowners in this area to make sure that their kids have first dibs on schools. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think they ought to have enough schools to accommodate the housing in each neighborhood within reason. And here's a parking garage. I used to come here quite regularly because we used to have Car2Go, which was sort of a take a car and pay for it by the hour for as long as you needed. And sometimes they had deals where you could take it for the full day. And they would often have a lot of cars in here, and I would come grab one. I took one up to Niagara Falls once for Christmas to see my family. Oh, here's an interesting alley I've never really thought to wander down before. And this would be Eglinton Avenue East. There's a Starbucks. And across the street, that used to be a Boston Pizza. And then it became a Prohibition, who has another location on Queen Street East. And that's a look back towards Yonge and Eglinton. There's one of 3 local A&Ws I go to. There's another one north on Yonge and in the Yonge Eglinton Center food court. And there's Snakes and Lattes. That used to be... Why am I forgetting the name? But it was an Asian fusion restaurant. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. It was a chain that was everywhere, and now they have just a few locations left. I'm sure as soon as I stop recording, the name will pop into my head. There also used to be a large Swiss Chalet just up ahead. There's now a Swiss Chalet in Harvey's behind me, but I remember coming to the Swiss Chalet and going to some of the bars that used to be on the north side of Eglinton. All right, I'll cross over to the north side here. And we'll be good and wait for the light cycle. I think this is where the Swiss Chalet used to be. It's now condos and a grocery store and the neighborhood's second LCBO. There's another one in the Yonge Eglinton Center. For that matter, another one south on Yonge towards Davisville Station. Never used Penguin Pickup before. And this used to be a popular bar, and this location, or this spot, used to be a Sweet Jesus, which is kind of an Instagrammable ice cream shop. Now it's a cafe and La Carnita. They have another location downtown. It's kind of pricey for what it is. And this spot seems to have a pretty long run of bad luck. First it was the Scruffy Murphy's, which relocated to the east of here and then closed down. And it was a place called Four Barrel Hollies. Then it became a bar called Cass Avenue. And then the pandemic hit and they were forced to not operate as per usual, and it went under. And this used to be a Copacabana, an all-you-can-eat Brazilian steak restaurant, and I think it's operated by the same people now under this La Latina banner. So straight to the east of here is Mount Pleasant. That would be the next major street, but I'll be heading up Redpath Avenue here. And here's one of my new favorite local places, Rudy. As long as they don't burn it to a crisp, which they did do one time. It's quite good, probably the best burgers in the neighborhood. And there's where the old Unicorn used to be. That was a tavern. It was one of the oldest ones in the city. And it got turned into what else? A condo? And speaking of Scruffy Murphy's, that's where it relocated to and then shut down. And this would now be north on Redpath Avenue. There's some neat alien artwork coming up. Well, this convenience store is gone. I keep looking over my shoulder expecting to see people, but it's really just me out here. And the odd dog walker. Be kind of cool to see Ken or one of the other YouTubers walking around at this hour. So I've showed this art a few times before. And it went in with these condos, and there's some complementary pieces on this side of the street. There's some nightmare material. And this is Roehampton. So there's all kinds of condos that have sprung up on this side of Yonge. But Roehampton is mostly older rental buildings. So I'll see if North Toronto Collegiate is well lit. And if it is, I'll cut across those grounds, back over to Yonge. There's the Minto, Roehampton. Oh, we got a sprinkler alert. This building here, I once dated someone who lived there. And I also bought a pleather sofa from someone who lived there. I was with a buddy who helped me carry it down the street over to my place. Here's the look to the east. And North Toronto Collegiate will be coming up within half a block or so. I'm not sure what's going on with these rental buildings here. Oh, it looks like they're squeezing another building right next to it. And here's North Toronto Collegiate. Seems to be fairly well lit. Wonder what the sports field is like. This is an old school. Well, there was an old school here, and it got torn down, and the developer had to build a new school on the spot. There's some people having some kind of picnic with candlelight out in the middle of the field. But the lighting's not too good here, so I will take this small sensor camera, which isn't great in low light. And I'll head this way. That was a police officer walking by. And straight ahead is Broadway Avenue. And here's Broadway. After my not super successful cycling live stream, I rode back home along the street, and I think I'll put a video of that up on my other channel. And just to the south of here, there was a couple of rental buildings that were temporarily turned into a homeless shelter during the pandemic. And straight ahead is the intersection where this walk started. At Yonge Street, Broadway ends, and then Montgomery begins on the other side. There's a lot of history in that particular corner of Midtown Toronto. And there is Sip Wine Bar. A lot of people like Grazie, but I think this is a better spot in this neighborhood. Prices are similar. I bet developers are clamoring to be able to redevelop a property like this, especially with that location. And here's where they've been putting in a Jollibee for the longest time. Yep, we have a fire truck. No sirens necessary at this hour. Let's just head north for a little bit, and then I'll turn around and end this. There's where Best Buy used to be. There was a Future Shop before that. And here's a parade of southbound shuttle buses. I wonder how many people are on these buses at this hour. On a weekday when nothing's really open. 2 people on that one, plus the driver. 1 person on that one, it looked like. Nobody on that one. 3 people on that one. Oh, that one's pretty full. Nobody on that one. Nobody on that one. I think I have an idea to save the TTC some money. Here's where Alley Cats used to be. Nobody on that one. Another empty bus. There's Canada Computers. They've been called out for some rather shady practices during the GPU shortage that's gone on during the pandemic. It used to be the go-to place for a lot of people, and they've sort of sworn off of it. There's what used to be a Sporting Life, and now it'll be a bank. Whoop-de-doo. And I quite like this spot. Tunboku Ramen. I can't wait to go back there and eat. And this place, Good Bite. It's a greasy spoon style diner. Hey, it's people. And there's a look north up Yonge. It carries on just like this. Dead to the world for, well, I guess the remainder of Yonge Street. I'm just gonna cross over to the other side. The light doesn't seem to wish to change. So yes, this is jaywalking. If I were away from the intersection, it would be permissible. I'd press the button and, oh, there we go, in 10 seconds. And for my cycling live streams lately, this is where I have been starting them. From this parking lot and then heading out into the world. The lighting seems to be okay over here. But it probably won't be once I get to the next intersection. Just to the southwest of here is Eglinton Park. That's a rather large park. It's got a big hill and some nice views. But the west side of Yonge doesn't have much in the way of condos or high-rises. There are a few, but it's nothing compared to the east side. And this is Duplex Avenue. All right, let's just keep walking south here. Although I might have better lighting on this side underneath the lights. Looks pretty dark in the viewfinder. So I think what I'll do is I'll just end this video. I live 5 minutes from here. So let's get to the next intersection where it's nice and well lit. Or I could just keep going right back up to where we started. Looks like this high-rise here might be why the street seems to have more light. I don't really know. That doesn't make sense. This is one of those things where I have no idea what this is going to look like until I sit in front of the computer. And I might just end up saying, "You dummy, why did you keep recording? You can't see anything." So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this walk around Yonge and Eglinton. TTC truck there was just kind of looking at me. If you wish to support the channel, there are links to my Patreon in the description. You can check out channel memberships on my YouTube page. And I think that's about that. So thank you for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one.